Good morning, everyone. Here we are at week number 8, our final week in the term for Science 200. Let's see what we've got going on. So last week you worked on your speaker's notes. You didn't have a discussion board posting, but you worked on your speaker's notes for your presentation, and so this week you will finish that up, and I'll cover that in just a second. I will try to start grading those speaker's notes as quickly as I possibly can this week so that you can revise them as you need to and get those in your presentations. You have discussion board postings this week, so your initial post is all about the challenges of presenting your topic and your information that you found to your audience, and were your sources helpful to you in making this presentation to your audience? Was it at the right level of information, or did you have to modify the information to help your audience understand your topic? Also, in the response post, remember that initial post is due by Thursday evening. Don't forget that. And you have 2 response posts that are due to your fellow classmates, and look at the similarities and differences in your experiences in speaking to your particular audience, and see what you have in common with them, see what are differences, and discuss that in your response post, because depending on your audience you will have different experiences. All right, the next thing that you need to do is go into chapter 8 in your Sumo web text and finish up the exercises in chapter 8. We are still discussing the Deepwater Horizon oil spill, and you have some information to read that was compiled by an organization that was presented to the public, and you're going to look at how that communication is different from other communication that you've read. So get finished with that this week too, and you know that you have graded exercises in that web text. And then finally, you have your final presentation. So you're going to make your slides for your topic, and you're going to include the speaker's notes. Now, I am assuming that most of you are going to use PowerPoint. If you do that, you need to break up your speaker's notes and take the chunks out of the speaker's notes and put them at the bottom of the slide in the notes areas. If you're doing a Prezi presentation, then your speaker's notes will be separate. Google Slides, I believe, also has a place for your speaker's notes. So it just depends on the application that you're using as to how you will present those speaker's notes. I would prefer that they not be a Word document. I would prefer that they be at the bottom of a slide so I can see exactly what you expect your audience to understand from a particular slide. But if that's not possible, then you will put them in as a Word document. Now, a few words about your slides, okay? Include graphics, include pictures, include data, include tables, okay? You want a slide to have impact on your audience. You don't want to write out everything that you put in your speaker's notes on a slide. That is a terrible kind of presentation, because then you end up reading what is on the slide if you're presenting this to an audience, and nobody wants to be read to. We want to see something. If we're talking about electric cars, then I want to see a picture of an electric car. If you're talking about the permafrost layer, I want to see that particular environment. And then if you put information, which you should put a little bit of information on a slide, that should be in bullet points and not complete sentences. That's not what a bullet point is. Just a few words and a few bullet points to help get your information across, because remember, you would be explaining this to your audience. So make it powerful, make it interesting. Your slides, I think it says between 5 and 7 slides. You should have headings on each of the slides that correspond to the sections in your presentation. So introduction, hypothesis, natural science, who's your audience, how are you going to explain it to your audience. Those should be slide headings in your topic. Okay? And with that being said, we have a few more things to wrap up. You have your course evaluations that should be popping up at some point during this week. And I ask you, please, 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 please do your course evaluations, because that helps my team lead evaluate how I'm doing and how the course is doing. And it also helps me. I don't see them until a couple weeks after the course is finished, but that helps me become a better instructor, because I read those suggestions and critiques and I act on those. So please help me out by doing the course evaluations. And I want to remind you that the last day to turn in your work is this coming Sunday, August the 21st, right? I am looking at that right. Let me make sure I'm a calendar. Let me make sure. Yep, August the 21st at 11:59 p.m. Once that clock strikes midnight, you cannot add anything else to the class, and neither can I. So you can't send it to me to upload into the course, because I can't do it either. All I can do is grade. So be aware of that deadline, because it is very important. If you're having any issues, you can't get finished, whatever it is, let me know before the end of the term. So if there's anything that I have to do to help you get through the term, I have to have this information before the end of the term. You can't come up a week later and say, oopsie, I couldn't do my work, because, okay, there's nothing I can do. Just saying. Maybe somebody else can, but I sure can't. So let me know before the end of the term. And I want to wish you all good luck in your endeavors, in your studies, in your new careers. And I hope that you have a wonderful week this week, but I also hope that you have a wonderful end of the summer and beginning of the fall. Don't you love fall? I do. Anyway, I hope that you have a great week. Let me know if you need anything.